Here's a question for you guys.
Hmm.
You guys are tasked with producing a futuristic version of the Forgotten Realms. Where is Faerun in 1500 years?
I always said the mindset of the realms wasn't medieval so much as it was um, early industrial. In other words, we have magic that is doing a lot of things. I thought always said that's doing a lot of things that we would, communication, transportation, etc. Even something as simple as a light spell can transform a society. One of the pieces that I think would change everything is, and Ed, you can give voice in on this as well, is being able to mass produce magical books, a magical printing press. And that would happen over the next 1,500 years, and that would transform it. I would say the world would look a lot more like Aurua, which is a highly a magical nation down to the south. So, what do you think?
Because you've got Mistra pushing that.
Mm-hmm.
Mistra is pushing that as her goal, a magically literate populace. And to have a
Yeah.
magically literate populace,
Oh my
they have to
goodness.
be literate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to change everything. It's going to be very much an equalizer
True.
in terms of the lower class and the middle class. It's going to become a society where the people at the bottom have more
Mm-hmm.
and participate more, and the people at the top can't oppress as much
Do you think we'll still
because
have kings?
anybody can push back. I'm
Think the Obarskir
not
line's
sure
still in
we'll have
business?
kings as. I would think we would, but I think they'd be more like a British constitutional monarchy. The
Yeah.
king or queen is a figurehead. There's a ruling council.
Mm-hmm.
Things are decided, and then the monarch puts the trappings on it, the
Okay.
the pomp and circumstance.
And we have that a bit in
The
Waterdeep
monarch
already.
knights you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
a Waterdeep filled with
Yeah.
skyscrapers?
It already is from their point of view.
Yeah.
And you already have buildings in Waterdeep that have a flying buttress, flying bridge to another tall building,
Mm-hmm.
so they can both go higher without falling down. So, assuming you don't have any major cataclysms, or the dragon wards don't fail, and a dragon decides it's going to have fun knocking down buildings in an afternoon, I would say it's just going to keep going up and up and up, because the real estate is getting more and more valuable, and people don't want to go to the expense of building at great expense outside, so you have a longer travel time when you can build up where you already are. Same thing that happens in our real world.
So we see Waterdeep as more of a Manhattan.
Yeah, density's going up.
Mm-hmm.
In places that have good natural solid ground to build on, and places that have good harbors and or water supplies, or both. You're not going to have the Brazilias of this world where they artificially decide we're going to put a huge city here in the middle of nowhere, and there's not a particularly compelling reason to supply it except political decision. I don't think we're going to reach that point. I think they're going to develop what they have already. And places that don't have a logical development, like Baldur's Gate is expanding because more and more people want to be there.
Right.
But we're now moving into substandard land. So, and therefore you're not going to get resistance from people who are farming that land because it's not good farmland, that sort of thing. And climate's going to have, the question then comes, that do we have any major climate shift? Does that affect things? Because people like 10 towns are hanging on. If it gets really colder or warms up a lot, it's going to change things.
Well, we also
in
have
that corner
magic
of the
and
world.
control weather as a spell. So that therefore, we can actually do the magical equivalent of, say, the Thames floodgates that basically, at the mouths of the Thames, basically protect it from storm surges. We can basically create that magically either through golems that can, basically move things, but also through spells. I can see us creating spell towers that basically will guarantee a temperate environment, even, around. Now that becomes a question of how it's owned, who can afford it, that sort of thing.
There we go.
Mhm.
And that's where your next wars are.
Yeah.
It's warring weather control spells. And
Ooh. Yeah, because if
the
you're setting
effects that
something out,
has
you
on
may
everybody.
if you set that
Yep.
up in Cormyr, you may be screwing up what's going across the Sea of Dragons. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is we do this all the time. So.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
why I
Conflict
asked.
will always be with us. Yeah. That it's always dynamic.